Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at something pretty audacious today, chronologically speaking.
Yeah,
But
definitely. A 4,000-year roadmap.
right, and it's all meticulously calculated, primarily from uh, the Hebrew text, the
Yeah.
Masoretic text.
That's the one. And the whole point of this deep dive is to understand how this timeline, Anno Creationis, or AC, was built.
Year of creation, literally.
Exactly. And the fundamental idea, it's completely fixed. Creation is day one, well, year one, 1 AC,
And it has to end precisely when?
4,000 AC. That's the non-negotiable endpoint, tied specifically to the advent of the Messiah. Chronologists often pinpoint Jesus' birth to September 11th, Tishri 1 in 3 BC.
Wow, that's specific. So, okay, 4,000 years of prep time, essentially, leading up to that single moment.
That's a theological framework, yeah.
But how do you keep a timeline like that accurate over 4 millennia? You can't just like add up lifespans, can you? You need anchors.
You absolutely need anchors, fixed points. And the structure uses these absolute time spans. Think of them like historical checks and balances.
Okay, so what's the first big one?
The first is the 430-year decree. It's non-negotiable.
430 years. Connecting what?
It connects the covenant made with Abraham, which they place at 2083 AC. He was 75 then to
Right.
the Exodus. And that falls exactly 430 years later, 2513 AC.
So the number itself proves the point that the promise was kept precisely.
That's how it's interpreted, yes. It shows the creator sticking to the plan to the very year.
That's a solid checkpoint. What's the next one? You mentioned a skeleton key.
Yes. The 480-year span, this one is, well, it's paramount. It's the main structural constraint.
But it links.
It links the Exodus, that same 2513 AC date, directly to the laying of the first temple's foundation.
Solomon's Temple.
Right, in Solomon's 4th year of reign. And that must land exactly at 2993 AC.
2993 AC. Okay, so foundation laid then. The temple took, what, 7 years?
7 years, which means the temple completion itself marks 3000 AC. A really significant, clean number.
3,000 years exactly from creation. But wait, that 480-year block, 25R13 to 2900-993, that covers the whole period of the Judges, doesn't it? That era seems messy.
Messy is an understatement, chronologically speaking, and that's where the real challenge comes in. If you just take the Book of Judges and add up all the periods of peace, the judgeships, the oppressions,
It doesn't fit.
it blows way past 480 years, like by centuries. It just doesn't work linearly.
So hang on. The historical details listed seem to contradict the 480-year decree from 1 Kings. How do they square that? I mean, 1 Kings 6.1 is scripture too.
They have to prioritize the structural decree. The 480 years is taken as the absolute constraint, so the interpretation must change.
Yeah.
The judgeships and the times of oppression can't be a single continuous national story. They have to be seen as regional things happening at the same time, overlapping.
I see. So multiple judges ruling different areas simultaneously,
Yeah.
or oppressions happening in parallel.
Exactly. It's the only way to compress those centuries of events into the required 480-year box. The structure dictates how you read the history.
That shows, well, an incredible dedication to making the numbers fit the framework.
It does. The framework is king.
Speaking of precision, let's jump back earlier. Before the kings, before the temple, you mentioned something fascinating about the time leading up to the flood.
Oh, right. That's a really interesting detail. Back in the antediluvian period, the Great Flood is dated to 1656 AC.
Okay.
And that year, 1656 AC, is exactly the year Methuselah died.
The oldest man in the Bible.
The very same. And his name is often linked to judgment like, when he dies, it shall be sent. So this perfect timing.
What's the interpretation there?
It's seen as kind of the maximum possible extension of grace. Like judgment was held off until the very last possible moment tied to his lifespan. Precision, even in catastrophe.
Wow. Okay, so you have that intense precision early on, and then the perfection of the temple at 3000 AC.
Yeah.
But what happens after 3000 AC?
Well, that's where the contrast becomes really stark. After that high point, you enter the period of the divided kingdom.
Israel splitting into north and south.
Right. And suddenly the chronology gets notoriously difficult. It's complex, ambiguous. We're talking 419 and a half years leading to the first temple's destruction in 3413 AC.
So the record keeping itself becomes messy.
Extremely messy, trying to synchronize the reigns of kings in Israel and Judah, figuring out co-regencies, dealing with conflicting numbers. It's a headache.
And is there meaning read into that complexity?
Absolutely. The interpretation is that the chaotic nature of the historical records mirrors the actual spiritual and political chaos of the nation during that decline.
Okay, so order and clarity in times of obedience, like the 430 and 480 year period.
Exactly. Clean numbers.
And then complexity and ambiguity when things fall apart spiritually.
That's the core principle they extract. But, and this is crucial, even through that messy period, the major endpoints remained fixed. The destruction hits at 3413 AC, and the timeline still resolves perfectly at 4000 AC for the Advent.
So even the chaos was contained within the overarching structure. The end date was never in doubt.
Never in doubt. The structural integrity, holding firm from 1 AC to 4000 AC, is presented as the ultimate validation of the entire chronicle. It suggests the whole 4,000 years was this meticulously managed preparation.
It really makes you think about time differently.
It does. And maybe here's a final thought for you to chew on. If history, even in its details, had to be understood or, let's say, arranged to fit these overarching predetermined time spans, what does that tell us about how these chroniclers viewed the purpose, or maybe even the nature of time itself? Was it just history, or was it prophecy embedded in numbers?